everybody, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com, and today's topic that I'm covering is David Paulides, and I think I'm saying that right. If I'm not, please leave a comment. I've seen a lot of his work on his 411 website, and I believe that's how you say it. So anyway, let me go on with my question. So the question that was sent to me says, "Hi Lynn, David Paulides posted this video recently, and about the 13-minute mark, he reads a letter that he received from a police officer who had a very strange experience with an invisible entity. He was in a field and he felt he was being followed. He then turned around to see the grass parted like someone was there, but he couldn't see anybody. There was no being there. He then tried to figure out what is going on and what he was experiencing. He didn't know if he was making it up in his mind. He didn't know if something was really there, but he sure felt like something was there. And the physical evidence of this field with this tall grass parting led him to believe that he was being watched, but he couldn't see who was watching him. So this person wanted to know, what in the world was that? Did it have a nefarious intention? Why did the entity turn around and leave at the end? Because it did leave him alone eventually. Is this entity the cause of the missing people that David Paulides investigates? And where do these people go after they're missing?" So I'll leave a link to the video where the gentleman, he reads this letter, and it gives his first account experience of this strange being and what he felt and what happened on that interesting night. So after I listened to this letter being read, I did get that some of what David investigates relates back to very similar encounters. David, his investigations, they root back to a multitude of situations. So I get that when someone is missing, it's not always just a one-size-fits-all type of a scenario. There could be a lot of different things going on. Some are ET, some are interdimensional beings at play, and some are the result of an injury or animal attacks in the wilderness. So some are happening that have a very, I guess, good explanation, and then some are quite mysterious. People disappear, they come back, they don't have any memory. There's just a lot of oddity to these experiences out in wilderness situations. So going back to the letter and focusing on this encounter, I get that in this scenario, this specific situation, there was an ET being, and I sensed that this being had the ability to shapeshift and even cloak itself, which we've heard about this before with their ships and even the actual being itself, and I get that's what was going on here. And the image I had when I was tuning into this related back to a scene I saw on Predator, in which the being could become invisible and lurk around, and it could come back and forth and cloak itself. I got that what this man experienced was very similar to that, to what happened in the movie Predator. I do sense that the being was evil in a sense, and if the gentleman wouldn't have been so alert to this being following him, I got that he probably was going to be captured. And I couldn't tell what species exactly this being was, but I sensed it was a reptilian type of affiliation. I get that when these type of ETs go out to capture people to study or even take genetic material, they try to do so without a fight. So if you fight them off, or you're even, I guess, aware of their presence, they tend to avoid you because they don't want to deal with that type of altercation. They like to startle their prey and take them when they're unsuspecting or confused. And some of these missing people, they're taken to ships and then re-released once their study or what they want is done. And I get that people that have no recollection of these events as well are because of the trauma that was induced on them. And also I get that, our human bodies, we're pretty smart, and we learn how to disconnect our subconscious to block memories of situations that maybe don't seem rationally, I guess, occurring. You might have a dream, or they might have some faint memory that something happened to them, but for the most part, your rational mind tries to dismiss it. And you're like, did I imagine that? Was it a dream? Did it really happen? And I get that that happens a lot in these scenarios. One interesting thing that came to me in regards to protection and how to avoid this kind of thing is that many of these beings, they hate loud sounds. And I saw an image of someone taking an air horn or a bear horn and blowing it, and it looks to scramble the being and force them to come out of cloaking and flee basically away. So maybe that's something you want to put in your survival bag if you're feeling a little apprehensive or even suspect something's following you and you're not really sure what's going on. Grab your air horn. So I don't know. That was just a very interesting add-on that I had toward the end of this. So all in all, that is what I have. I want to thank you for listening. I'd love to hear your comments. Have you had a strange experience out in the wilderness or had something that seems almost like you can't explain it? I would be really curious. So please feel free to leave a comment. Again, like my channel, don't forget to subscribe. All the support, I appreciate it so much. Again, I'm Lynn with Psychic Focus at psychicfocus.blogspot.com. Thank you. Bye.